Hi there, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode of Mo's Garage, we're going to be working on the MGB GT. More specifically, it's time to really sort out the fuel and fuel lines for this car. So a couple things. So in a previous episode, I think I discussed that this car actually came with a fuel cell in the back. The previous owner decided to do like a conversion to one of these fuel safe racing cells. I seriously considered swapping back out to the original gas tank situation. This fuel cell is actually in the boot. The only way to put gas in this car is basically by opening the hatchback, going that route. Not really super ideal. Once I started looking at it, this thing actually is cut into the floor pan. I would have to replace the floor pan. I would also have to replumb everything, get new fuel pumps, all the bits and pieces that go was actually the whole installation. And all of a sudden, it started becoming a little bit too much of a pain. So the plan right now is I'm going to stick with this fuel cell and see how it goes. Really, this car is really more meant to be a run around town. You know, park it on Main Street on Thursday nights here in Havasu, where there's always a bunch of kind of cool custom hot rods and cars. So I think for the time being, I'm going to leave it. They actually mounted the fuel pump. They can't really tell it inside one battery compartments. And they actually ran a 3/8 kind of a brake line, fuel line, all the way to the bottom here of the car. It's kind of hard to tell, but way down in there, you can actually see the flange. So the plan is, the car originally did come with a piece of tube that they kind of did a kind of so-so job of bending. So I'm gonna, I tried various iterations of trying to get that thing to work. I was going to run it in front of the heater box all the way around, and by the time all was said and done, I had so many crazy bends and other things that was going to interfere with the actual air cleaner that I decided, you know what, I'm going to kind of cut it in half, hold short, and then run a 3/8 inch line all the way back to the carbs. These particular units feed from the front of the car. I've seen online where there's quite a few of them that feed from the back of the car. So in this case, I did order a new braided hose. I still have to figure out exactly where to mount that. Right now, it's actually in the way, as you can tell, of where the throttle cable is going to come. So I'll just figure that out. And then, for whatever reason, it actually has a smaller diameter fuel line that I ordered, also braided. So I went on Amazon and ordered a 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch conversion there, because I'm going to basically run a 3/8 inch fuel line temporarily, at least until I figure it out, all the way to where the fuel line is. So let me show you the fuel line that I kind of messed with for a little bit. First of all, Mo's garage is looking a little empty. Our sailboat is actually in the water, and I decided to park the trailer outside. And also, those who've been following my channel, my BMW R1100 GS is a sidecar. This is its last day in the garage. Hopefully, a brand new owner is showing up tomorrow to pick it up. So it's kind of a sad day to see it go. But too many motorcycles, and then I had to pick one. So it's either this or keep my other BMW motorcycle. And I decided that 2 wheels at speed are a lot more fun. So go figure. Anyway, I digress. So as far as fuel lines, so what you see here is quite a few different iterations of what I had originally, of trying to bend the lines, you know, see how it's going to work. This one right here was my attempt at kind of routing it all the way around the car. After all was said and done, it was just a bit of a disaster. And I decided that I was just basically going to stick with this line right here. So this goes all the way from the bottom up over around the heater, and then basically just a 45, well, not a 45, maybe a 30-degree angle up. And the plan right now is to basically attach, to do a double flanged wall on it, similar to what's on this side over here. So I'm going to do that. We'll do the double, that way it's nice and secure. I did practice doing this just a single flared, and it's a little too sharp, so we'll do the double one. And so compliments of Amazon, why not? I did buy me the double flaring tool. So it's always a question on Amazon, out of all these, which ones to get. There's so many, really this is like Harbor Freight online, I hate to say that. But anyway, I'm not sure how many times I'm really going to use this, so we'll see. But for the time being, my goal is to go ahead and put the double end flare on the back end of this pipe. So step first, let's go ahead and put the double end flare, and then my thought is, then I will show you how this thing fits on the car at that point in time. Okay, let me get everything set up. Anyhow, so right now I have my pipe installed on the 3/8 inch area. We're gonna start doing the first kind of flange, which uses this little die right here. And the trick is to basically put this in so the top of the pipe is even with the bottom of that die, so which is that right now. Also, it's a good idea to basically deburr the inside. So I do have this cool little deburring tool that I got back when I was thinking about building an airplane. We'll give it a quick little spin around here, make sure it's nice and clean. Okay, so that's good. Then last but not least, we most likely should tighten these up really good. I noticed last time when I was kind of messing with this in front of my couch that quite frankly, if it's not super tight, it does seem to, even though there's some pretty decent teeth on here, it does seem that it does seem to wander a little bit. I had a problem that basically as I pushed down on here, it actually pushed the tube out. So we're gonna make sure this is good and tight. It's not gonna go anywhere. So that is not a problem this time around. So we grab the little die and put it on. And then we'll do our first kind of a squish here with this little tool. Okay, let's pull this off, see what it looks like. See if it pushed the pipe down like it did last time where it actually worked. About to find out as the saying goes. Take it off. And we'll pull this off somehow. Oh, looks like it. Basically push the pipe down as I said before. So we'll try it one more time. Awesome. Okay, so I cut the end off, so we have a nice, basically, I don't know, factory surface here. So maybe that'll help the grip. So let me get this whole thing mounted up one more time, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, take two. Check this out. Okay, let's deburr this real quick. This is already in, so we'll put our buddy there. So if this doesn't work, looks like we may just have to use a single end flare versus a double end flare. So we'll see. See where we're at. Kind of looks like it got pushed. Look beneath. Yep, you can see where the teeth mark has slid on this thing. So anyhow, I think that's it. I'm just gonna, for the time being, look at a single end flare. Okay, and do this. And do Buddy Boy. I suspect this would work better with copper. And voila. Nothing too exciting. So I think that's it. It'll be good enough, at least to prevent the fuel line. Put it from popping up over there. So it would have been nice to have done the double flare, but in this particular case, I think that's as good as it's going to get. So, okay, next step, let's move it to the car. Okay, back at the car. So I went ahead and test fit the fuel line. It kind of goes all the way down there. I'm not sure if you can see that where it kind of ties into. So anyway, so it's kind of hand tightened. It fits pretty decently back here. I'm going to get an organizer here to basically control all these different tubes and some cables. So this is basically where the fuel line ended up at over here. So my thought is we'll run a 3/8 inch line all the way around in here, and we will tie into that right there. We do have a handy edit places to put a clamp here to support the whole thing. I've seen installations here where it has a fuel filter. I actually bought a fuel filter for it, but I'm going to bypass that. There's actually a fuel filter already by the pump in the back, so I don't want to be too overkill on here. So really, just do need to go to the automotive shop, get some 3/8" fuel line to kind of finish this. And then I think from an engine compartment standpoint, we're going to be pretty darn close. I did take away, if you notice, some, like a lot of the heater lines that were on before I took out. Mainly they were kind of in the way of when I was messing around with that fuel line. But I think I can actually now start putting everything back together. One addition I did do recently, I ordered the windshield washer pump and the reservoir, so that's good. So that's complete. I do have to wait for the lines to go from there all the way to where the little squirter dudes are going to be over there. And there's a few more bits and pieces coming from Moss. Amongst them, I'm going to be able to hopefully finally finish up the front. I did get new side lights, so they're in the box, and I'm also getting these over here. The previous owner did some kind of a weird Mickey Mouse deal on those, so I decided just to get brand new ones. And so I'm hoping once that's done, I can finish up the electrical. I will have to get, still missing a couple horns, so we'll see on that. And I haven't really tightened up any of the lines or any of the clamps or whatever, but I think the engine's getting pretty close here to a point where we can actually fire it up and see what's going on. Now, that being said, I still have a big question to deal with, which is exhaust. I think I've decided I'm going to move a muffler to the mid-cross member that goes from, there's a small piece that goes from the headers to kind of right behind the firewall area, and then there's another longer piece that goes back in there. So my thought at this point in time is to see if you can see down there, there's a big long stretch there, is to see about getting a muffler kind of welded in there, and then on the back, just run a straight pipe all the way to the back end of the car. I considered doing a side exhaust, but I'm not sure the legality of that in the state. I know a lot of people states really want the exhaust to be behind the back of the car just for safety purposes. So anyway, so that's kind of where it stands. So I think that's where we're gonna end today's little episode. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this. So I'm getting a little excited over this. I mean, we're getting pretty darn close to at least getting the engine compartment done and finished. I do still have to, sort out the wiring at the back end of the car. Currently, the wiring at the back end of the car, I'm afraid to say, is just laying in a bundle at the back end of the car. Because I still also really have to worry about clamping all the wires and stuff that goes from there to the back. So I haven't really looked at that yet. So, but that is definitely now on the list. Okay, well again, I hope you enjoy watching this. Thanks for watching. We will catch you next time. If you did like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you want to keep notified on more videos like this, just hit the subscribe down below. Okay, take care. Bye-bye now. If you like this video, hit subscribe and give us a big like down below. Thanks for watching.